You're thinking about retiring abroad, what commonly we call senior living. You know what? I call it the next phase in life. The phase in life that, people call it, the golden years. You know what? It aren't your golden years. It's a time that we're able to really truly appreciate life. Not the golden, it's appreciating life. At least that's my view. Now, if you're thinking about bringing a loved one to Costa Rica or Mexico, one of the things to consider is that you don't want to push a country onto a senior. They are the most precious thing in the world, and you don't want to force them to, I need to be here. You know what? Do it little by little. Little teaspoons a few months in. Hey, you know what? Can we consider this? Let them be part of the solution, part of the whole conversation, not forcing things. Yes, you know what? These days, when I was younger, I thought, hey, you know what? You plan for the future, you save for your retirement, and you put a little bit of money away, you'll be okay. But what I found with seniors is that there's a whole other aspect of life that I wasn't told about. But I think that it's important, those of you guys, even if you're younger, or even, you know what? Try to do as much as you can to be as healthy as possible. You know what? Don't eat that junk food, because of the fact that it just wreaks havoc on your body later on. Now, one of the things that you need to consider is that when you're choosing a country, climate, security, and stage of life. What are those three things? Climate. Is your loved one, does he or she like a cooler climate, or they want a hotter climate? That determines a great factor on where they're going to live. Security. Now, although we all want to have our screws on totally great, but sometimes they get loose, and it requires a little bit of an upper level of skilled care and maybe memory care. Now, we may want to, our loved ones, they do great, blah, 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 but no, they might need memory care. So you have to plan for that. Now, memory care is a more expensive, higher level of treatment, and then when you're choosing a location, hopefully you choose a location that can adapt for that they have a whole perimeter around the facility that protects memory care so they don't get lost. They don't leave the facility, because it does happen. Now, the other thing that you want to consider when you're doing senior health care, whether in Costa Rica or Mexico, is the distance to the healthcare facilities. What does that mean? That means that you want to have between where they live and the healthcare facility, you can get there within at least 30 minutes. Preferably 15 to 30. But hey, you know what? We can't be perfect. But you need to consider that. Why is that important? I'm not going to go to the doctor. I barely go to the doctor. But when you need it, it needs to be available to them. You know, something that's given me, the seniors that we take care of, they're so beautiful. But we need to take care of them in such a way that they're here for us tomorrow. And how do we do that? By providing an emergency plan that makes sure that they have the ability to live as long as they can, because we took care of them. I hope that this information that we went over helped you a lot. And if you have any more questions about senior living in Costa Rica or in Mexico, and you're thinking about putting your loved one in our hands, you know what? You consider us, because we actually do care and take everything into consideration when taking care of your loved one. Pura vida, and always be safe.